Turn my buzzer on like D&D. Think we poppin' now, just wait and see. Really bound to blow like TNT.
In a lot of different ways, honestly, I feel like college really is what kind of shaped and molded me as an artist. Being in the type of environment I was in at U of I was able to make connections that, you know, I probably wouldn't have been able to make anywhere else. The community out there was super supportive, and that's what really drove me to start taking my music seriously. And it was really just a blessing in disguise, because there were numerous times where I was just like, this is kind of a lot, especially trying to pursue both at the same time. But I think it was dope to be able to do both and to come out on the other side and realize that, like, I'm still pursuing music as a career, and I've gotten my degree. Like, I plan to use both. My degree, so I started off in chemistry like you said, but I ended up switching my major to community health. And for those who don't know, that's kind of a mix of like health industry things, but also like public service, social work, etc. So the goal is to be able to use the platform that I garner with music to kind of just be a voice for people who don't really necessarily have a voice in the society that we live in, who are underrepresented. So, yeah. It's been a wild ride, in all honesty. A few highs, a lot of lows. I've been working with high school students, actually. I work for a company that basically houses international students while they're here for high school. And that's kind of been a high point, like working with the kids and realizing that the work I do every day, because like you don't get days off when you're working with kids. But realizing that they're here and the work that I'm doing is actually meaningful has been super helpful. But not having the same outlets or not having access to the same outlets I usually would has definitely been a struggle. But I've been finding peace in it and trying to find like healthy coping habits in the midst of it. Every year since I've started music, I've had different experiences, and those experiences have kind of shaped my outlook, which has shaped the music. I think as I grow as a person, I've been growing as an artist, and it's been really dope to even go back. Like a lot of artists will go back and listen to their old tracks and cringe and be like, oh, I don't want to hear that. But I'm getting to a place now where I'll go back and listen to my stuff, and it's like, wow, this is dope how far I've come from like here. Even especially within like the last year, because now in the last year I've been back home, and being back home and being around other artists that I really, really rock with, who are super talented. The saying is iron sharpens iron, and now being around these artists and having access to them all the time, like I feel like I've been growing exponentially just from that change. It was a cool experience. It was definitely a decent learning experience. The way I got involved was literally like a few of my homies, when they went live with the link, a few of my homies just sent it over to me immediately and were just like, yo, you should, you feel me, look into this, see what's to it. And after like 5-6 people hit me with the link, I was just like, all right, I'll see what's to it. Did the original application, and like maybe a week later, I get a call from a California number while I'm in class. And so I call back as soon as I get out, and they were basically like, yo, like, you want to see if you can make it to the next round of the show, like we rock with what we've seen. And they just kind of kept in tune with me, had me send in a couple of more like submission videos, and that got me to where you all actually saw like on the Netflix special. And that part of it was super nerve-wracking. What a lot of people don't know is I was actually the first person to come out of Chicago to audition. So like, it was super nerve-wracking. Nobody had gone yet. I was the first one out there, and I was just like trying to figure it out. But it was definitely a dope learning experience, and I had a good time being there. Man, okay, so I'm gonna speak for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't know how the show was gonna go. Okay. Because it was on a Monday, it was late at night, and like, I don't know, it was just something new for me. And so we get there. The vibe was cool. I feel like everybody involved in the show was like excited, and we expected good things from it, but the turnout we actually got was like dope. It was a Monday. Mind you, the show was free, but we almost packed the house out. Like, it was almost sold out. And just seeing that type of support for the first show that we all done together kind of let us all know that, yo, we might be on to something for real. Probably also the thing I hate most, which is
That's
like...
my next question. What's your least favorite part?
Oh, true. Well, there's the same thing I would say, which is like, I like the fact that no matter what you do, there's never like a perfect song. You can always continue to experiment and play in different pockets and change things and tweak things. It's just a matter of what you like most, and like you can constantly grow. I don't think there's ever a time where like I'll be the perfect artist or the artist that I deem perfect, but it's like because of that I can always keep growing, and that's like it's a build up. I feel like we didn't get here overnight, and this is kind of just the culmination of a lot of people being fed up, and regardless of how you feel about the method or the means, like if this is what's needed to create tangible change, then by all means. It's unfortunate that things have to get to this point for people to really take notice, and you can't deny the results of, like, people are taking notice. This is becoming a nationwide thing. This is becoming more than a nationwide thing. I have, like I said, my students are international students, and one of them, as I was taking them back to the airport to go back home, they were talking about how like there are petitions even overseas that are like supporting what's going on right now, and I'm just glad that there's an eye and a focal point on these issues at this point. Here's the thing, in an ideal world, right, by the end of the year, by the end of this year, like, it should be ready to go. I want it out more than everybody else wants it out, to be completely honest. It's just I want to get it done correctly. I've spent a lot of time on this project, and it's just like it would be a disservice to like everyone else, but also a disservice to me if I went and rushed it out now. So once all the pieces are put together properly, we'll be ready to go.
What do you think is missing that isn't currently here that could be a good thing for artists to use as a resource?
An even more carved out sense of community. Like, I think we're definitely getting a whole lot better, especially in the past, 7-8 years now. Like, that's been something that a lot of people have talked about for a long time, and we've definitely made progress. I still think there's room to grow in that area, though. The more we realize that we're all working towards a common goal and everybody actively works towards that, the easier this all becomes for us.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Man, for some reason this question seems harder this time around than last time, but I guess continuing in that same path. I feel like in four years since then, there have been so many accomplishments that me and the team have been able to experience, and 5 years from now I want to be able to look back at the accomplishments that we've gotten up to this point and realize those are just stepping stones to where we really wanted to be. I just want to continue to progress and be leaps and bounds better than I am currently. So whatever that means to me 5 years from now, that's where I want to be.